I wanted to make a video about why I named this channel Old Man Mushroom. At 60 years old, I discovered plant medicine. This is not to say that I didn't have many opportunities in my younger years to participate in plant medicine, but I was too busy involved in the illusion of this world to appreciate what plant medicine could do for me. I imagine most people seeing this are similar to me, and that they spend most of their life chasing happiness, whether it be a job, a partner, a new shiny possession, or even the hope of reversing something that God has willed. We can get into what I mean when I say God another time. But for now, please just fill in whatever you believe. I was finding as I grow older, I have less dreams to chase that are available to fulfill my happiness. And I also have a much greater history of reaching dreams only to find that they did not fulfill my happiness. As I look back, the only things that seemed real were those times where I felt either deep pain, great joy, and neither of those feelings came from what I call the finite mind. These feelings came from a part of me that as a younger person I didn't bother to access. But as I turned 60, and I realized this is not necessarily knocking at heaven's door yet, I realized that I had never taken the time to really explore the truth about who I am. We all know already, but we let the illusion of this world take over and block this memory. So in my experience of taking plant medicine, I was able to take a fast path, as I'll call it, to the end of the game of meditation, where we are one with Source. Not everyone gets this same experience in plant medicine. Some people just get to see other realms. But the most important thing to learn, I believe, is the vast array of possibility between here in the finite world, or the illusory world, and our true nature, which is one with Source. And Source is infinite and eternal. In other words, without time and space. Once I was able to see this through plant medicine, my eyes opened, or my heart opened, and I could get to that same place with very little effort. In my younger years, I was involved in metaphysical Christianity, the Bhagavad Gita, Course in Miracles, and many other tools meant to take us in the right direction, the direction of our own truth. Our own truth is that life is illusory, a construct that we make up so we can experience everything, from relationships to objects to moral dilemmas. And for many of us, we get older, lost. When the number of people that you know have transitioned to the other side is starting to exceed the number of people you know that are actively involved in the illusion, you begin to question why you are here. This is why I went seeking a way to understand life better, and plant medicine opened that portal for me, to the point that I now no longer need the plant medicine for that purpose. I still enjoy plant medicine as it can add a great deal to the beauty of this illusion. With each loss, whether it was related to COVID or simply the fact that I'm getting older, and therefore my friends are also getting older, I began to feel less of a grip on the planet. Plant medicine allowed me to see that there is much more that we don't know than we know. There is no scientist that can tell you what happens to our loved ones or what happens to us. I have come to the conclusion that there is no us, and there were never any loved ones, just stories made up in God's mind that brought temporary life to all of us and allow each of us to have our own equal version of that ability to dream, so we can also feel. Basically, God feels through us, and we feel through His dream we call life, a reality. Once you realize that this is all an illusion, it makes everything easier to process. I'm not suggesting we don't celebrate when something is wonderful, but realize that the moment is fleeting and we will once again feel unfulfilled if all we are doing is working to achieve these happy moments over and over. True happiness is tranquility and content. The same thing holds true for loss. I don't suggest that we ignore the death of a loved one as nothing. Just understand it's not what we think it is. We truly do not know what we do not know. The best thing that we can do is a dance between living half in our true nature and half in the illusion of a reality, and make it sort of a balancing act. Enjoy the extreme happiness and enjoy the pain of loss and illness. But at the same time, keep in mind that neither of them is permanent. And the you that is experiencing this reality is also not permanent. You are merely consciousness who got cast in a part in a play, and in this play, If you would like to get back to your true nature, then your acting objective is to operate from a place of love, no matter what the circumstances. Especially now, the world is so divided by so many trivial things, especially in the picture of an infinite and eternal world. We must stop and say to ourselves that this is not another person. It is another projection of light coming directly from God, and therefore they are perfect. This does not mean you cannot disagree. This does not mean you must adore everyone you meet. Part of the gift of this illusion is contrast, and boy, are we seeing a lot of it these days. But the problem these days is that people are not operating from their true nature anymore. They're operating from their finite brain. If you spend your life operating from your finite brain, you're surely going to experience a lot of finite results. But in the big picture, there is only infinity and eternity.